Good morning. Apparently, I see my volume was muted. Welcome to the Tony Commander Galpohkpa Chesson Talk Show. We woke up this morning to dry weather. Right now, it's 50 degrees. Today in Rhode Island, it's going to go up to 66 degrees. Enjoy it while you can. Also, I got news from Africa today that the Ghanaian officials informed Liberians at the Buddha Burum camp that demolition is going to start at the end of December. I've received calls. People are concerned. So this is what's happening in the news today on the international side. Let's get into my lesson. My topics for today are: 1, Liberia's legislature versus 2 citizens. 2, when leadership fails. 3, what is Liberians' hope for the future? Let's start with my first topic. Liberia's legislature versus 2 citizens. Now, what happened the other day with this lawmaker and McKenzie and Abdul Sharif and their incarceration for 15 days is a travesty of justice. The legislature does not have the authority to sit in judgment and trial over a Liberian citizen and render judgment and incarceration over them. That's a violation of their constitutional rights. What happened the other day, and the Article 44 of the Constitution used by the legislators to convict this woman and imprison her and her brother. It's a misapplication of the law. And this is what happens when our people are uneducated. When our lawmakers come from the slum and want to lead a nation and feel they can just look at any kind of law and just take it up to prosecute Liberian people, it's a travesty of justice. Now let me read Article 44. Article 44 is an article that deals with contempt of Congress or the legislature by members of the House. When members behave unruly and the House want to censure them or punish them, they can charge them with contempt. And let me read Article 44. Article 44 of Liberia's Constitution states, contempt of the legislature shall consist of actions which obstruct the legislative functions or which obstruct or impede members or officers of the legislature in the discharge of their legislative duties and may be punished by the House concerned by reasonable sanctions after a hearing consistent with due process of law. Oh, Lord, I lost it again. Oh, yeah, it is. I lost it. Inconsistent with due process of law. Please hold on. Let me get back to this. My page just jumped all over the place. So Article 44 specifically speaks to members of the legislature who behave unruly and disrupt legislative meetings, functions, sessions, etc. Okay, here it is again. So I stop here. Oh man, why does it keep jumping all over the place? I keep losing this page. Hey man, I'm sorry. I'm really, really sorry. Now you're going way down to 97. So anyway, what Article 44 states that members in the House or the Senate, that's what they say the House concerned. If you're in the House of Representatives, of the House of Senate, and members in that House disrupt the House in such a manner that this cannot function, the House can sanction that member for their behavior. Okay? So I just want to see where, because at the end of this, I don't know why my page keeps jumping around. I wanted to use my book, but I couldn't find my, hold on 1 minute, please, people. Hey, Lord, let me get to this thing quick. Article 33, 44. Okay, I'm at Article 33. Let me see if I can get to here quick. Okay, Article 44. House concerned by reasonable sanctions after a hearing consistent with due process of law. No sanctions shall extend beyond the session of the legislature wherein it is imposed. And any sanction imposed shall conform to the provisions on fundamental rights laid down in the Constitution. Now, here is the part that differentiates what the House did to McKenvey and Abdul Sharif and what the law states. Disputes between legislators and non-members, that means citizens, non-members, which are properly cognizable in the courts, shall not be entertained or heard in the legislature. What this portion is saying that disputes like what happened between the lawmaker and McKenvey and Abdul Sharif the other day should not be entertained in the House. Why? Because there are crimes or actions that are cognizable in the courts. She insulted the lawmaker. She assaulted the lawmaker. She may have even battered the lawmaker. The legislature is not empowered to deal with issues of law. That's not a court. They can't handle legal issues. They don't know legal issues. They're not trained to handle legal cases. How would they go and decide a case against a Liberian citizen? Legislature don't do those kind of things. You don't go and punish your citizens. That's for the courts. You usurp your authority. That means you took over the authority of the courts. You're not supposed to do that. This woman is not a member of the legislature. You have no authority over her. Article 44 states that members of the legislature that disrupt the legislature or act unruly or misbehave can be sanctioned in that house, whether the House of whether the House of Representatives or the House of Senate. They can be punished by the members of that house. And the punishment is not supposed to exceed that session. Okay? It cannot go beyond that session. So that means if they're having a session today and a member of the House like Yake Koluba misbehave during a session. If they punish him during that session, it ends during that session. It cannot go beyond that session like the way they're doing to Yake Koluba right now. It's a violation of the Constitution again. These people do not know that they are held to high legal standards. And when you violate our Constitution as lawmakers, we have no recourse. If the courts are silent as they are today, there is a serious problem in Liberia. We are headed for violence. We are headed for unrest. And we are headed for trouble. Because there's no way our legislature can be so blind and backwards that they will take the law into their own hands and usurp the authority of the courts to put Liberian citizens in jail. This is a travesty of the law. This is unconstitutional, and those people should be released from prison effective immediately. And Liberian people should be pissed, because if they do this to one Liberian citizen, they can do it to any other Liberian citizen. And if we silent under this one person, we can be, when we talk under other instances, it will have no weight. Our lawmakers have crossed their authority. They have usurped the authority of the courts, and this is unacceptable. They have violated the constitutional rights of McKenzie and Abdul Sheriff. And these people got to be held accountable for that. Our lawmakers are there to uphold the law and make laws, not to violate the law and take the laws into their own hands. That's what we got the courts for. And if we continue to permit these people to act lawlessly, to act without boundaries, it will come back to haunt us. It will come back to haunt our society and all of us. A hint to the wise is sufficient. A hint to the wise is sufficient. So, y'all need to release these people from jail. Putting these people in jail under the provisions of Article 44 of the Constitution is wrong. It's a violation of the constitutional rights by the Legislature of the Republic of Liberia. It is wrong. It is wrong. You people cannot just do what you want to do. We have precedents and law. And if you do not know the law, you cannot lead our country. AFL, take notice. I take a break. What's going on in Liberia today with the Yake Koluba case, with this case here, with McKenzie and Abdul Sharif, with the murder cases that have been going on in Liberia, the deaths of our auditors and all these people, these are gravities of justice. These are instances that demonstrate that the rule of law is lacking in the Republic of Liberia. It further shows that the leadership of our country is in grave jeopardy. Leadership has failed. There's a breakdown in the leadership of the Republic of Liberia. Right now, it's on a small scale, but from what we see now, from the behavior of our legislators, from the behavior of our government of Liberia, from the behavior of the leader of our country is headed for trouble sooner or later. Sooner or later, the injustices are too many. The crimes are too many. The ignorance of our leaders is just unbearable now. It's unbearable. People just get up and interpret our laws by themselves. They have no training. Anybody just can jump on and say the law said this and this and punish people on it. That's unconstitutional. That's unjust. That's not right. It will come back to haunt us. We say these things time and time again. We bring up all these things to point to the fact that our country is going back into chaos. Our country is going back into dictatorship. Our country is going back into a failed state. If we don't want civil war, we don't want a mass unrest in our country, if we don't want instability in Liberia again, we have to take our country's interests in our hands. George Weah and these useless people are incapable of leading the Liberian people. They're leading us right back into the same situation we came out of in 1980. From 1980 to today, we can't go back. We can't continue to take one step forward and take 3 steps backward. We can't go back. If this man and this government got to be removed by force and put a new system in, we need to do that. But we can't go back to a civil war. We can't go back to a mass crisis of death and destruction in our country. We cannot continue to fail because we do not have good leaders. What's wrong with our country? The CPP is just as terrible as the CDC. What's wrong with these men in our country? What's wrong with these women in our country? What is all this power craziness and greed about? What is all this uselessness and lawlessness about? Why? You're not tired? All the stealing you people have done in Liberia, you bitches are damn rules. All the stealing you have done, you can't stop. You still want to steal. Why? Why? Our country can't go on like this. Our children deserve a better future. Come on, guys. Come on, we can't go on like this, man. We can't go on like this. Wake the fuck up. We can't go on like this. Y'all got to open your eyes. Something is wrong. I keep telling y'all this. Every day I come on, I tell you something is wrong. Something is wrong. There is no way a civilized society can continue to go on with this kind of stealing, corruption, murder, evil in our midst. We can't. Something got to be done. Something has got to be done. Can we do that? Can we do that? Can we change Liberia? Can we find leaders who will stand up to these evil vagabonds and ragamuffins and stop them, and slum leaders and stop them and say enough is enough? We need justice in Liberia. We need the rule of law. We need people who understand the applications of the law. People will not just call see things, contempt, and they say, oh, contempt means this, and don't even read the thing. It's a shame on our legislature. It's a total shame. And not only that, it's shame on, I don't want to say our society. It's shame on all of us. When I heard the legislature went to put this woman in court, in jail, and they sat there and did the thing, I said, oh, these ignorant people, my ignorant lawmakers. What's wrong with these people? It comes back to haunt all of us. Something wrong. Something wrong in our country. It comes back to haunt all of us. We can't have a legislature that don't know our law. We don't have a legislature of men and women that don't know nothing. They're so ignorant. They can't even interpret our laws to the extent that it will protect their integrity. Don't they have an ombudsman in that legislature who knows the law, some lawyer who can interpret the law? What funny shame are they doing that? Because for these people to prosecute these people on Article 44 and put it in jail for 15 days, it's a travesty of judgment, justice, law, order. It's a travesty of everything. Decency. It demonstrates that our legislators are ignoramuses. They are dumb. They are idiots. Why? If our legislature is filled with idiots and people who just act like dummies, what hope is there for the rest of us? What hope is there? I got a short lesson today. Let me take a break and I'll come right back. Is Liberia's hope for the future? What is our hope for the future? We can't have no hope. Our country going backwards. Every day people being killed. We can't get no report from the police. Our lawmakers, they're making all kind of damn laws. They don't even know what they're doing. If these people supposed to be the pride of our country and they're fucking up the country so bad with their lawmaking and their decision making and behaviors, what hope is there for the rest of us? Look at your Galpohkpa situation. I mean, what is all this about? It hurts. It hurts to see my country going backwards. It hurts. It hurts. It hurts to see the men and women of my country have no integrity. It hurts. It hurts. It hurts. But I got a short class this morning. And this is my class. It's troubling. It's troubling. And as long as those people stay in jail, it's not right. As long as McKenvey and Abdul Sharif stay in jail at the behest of this fucked up legislature, there's a problem. There's problem. Our whole country should be scared. Our people should be scared. Our lawmakers can take the law into their hands and treat Liberians with all due process of the law. That's not how the way our Constitution works. That's not the way how we attain peace and stability in our country. One minute the legislature is dead, then next minute all of a sudden they're so powerful, they're jailing Liberian citizens. I rest my case. My lesson is short today. Have a good day. My heart is troubled because when I see my country like this, we're all leaders who are cognizant of their duties and responsibilities. We're all leaders who know our laws. They can just jump up and put people in jail for any kind of thing, overstep their bounds, usurp the authority of other branches of government. You can't do that. When I see my legislature do that, I see my legislators so ignorant and backwards. I cry for my country. I cry for the people who are there. Because if our lawmakers who making the law do not know the law, no, they cannot interpret the law, but yet they want to enforce the law on Liberian citizens. Well, our legislature sit together to make law against one Liberian citizen, to punish one Liberian citizen. That's a problem. That's not their job. That's a job for the courts. And as long as those Liberian people sit in jail, our legislature is violating their constitutional rights. And that is a travesty of justice that every Liberian should be in arms about. Because if they can do it to McKenzie and Abdul Sharif, they can do it to any one of us. My class is done. Y'all get those people out of jail. Let that damn useless legislature put themselves in jail. Y'all walk those dumb people to the jail and put all the Liberian legislators in jail. They need to be in jail. They are criminals. The time of the people is now. Have a good day.